Alright, hey guys, my name is CJ, and in Throne of Liberty, my name is Sealheart. I'm the leader of a guild called Cygnus in the server Soulfire, and just wanted to test something out tonight. I found some really vital stuff that could save you guys a ton of Lucent in the future, and let's begin. Let's just get started here. So I already did this experiment, unfortunately, so I'm gonna be showing you through our guild Discord what exactly I did. Basically, uh, I crafted these Shock Commander gauntlets, right? But I only got the health regen 15 trait, which is like the crappiest trait right now. Like nobody wants that trait, right? So you don't want those, you don't want any of those garbage traits on your purple gear, right? However, the experiment that I tried tonight was building fail stacks to not just like guarantee the trait, but to save it for future more expensive traits, right? So over here, I fail stacked it. As you guys probably know from other videos, you need about 12 blue traits to effectively guarantee a purple trait enhancing. So if I had 12 health regen blue gloves, for example, that would net me around 480 blessings, I believe, which you need 450, right, to guarantee the the blessing to succeed. And it makes it 100% chance if you didn't know that. But anyways, moving on, I checked over here, and this method works really well if the item you're enhancing, the blue version of that trait, is only worth like 10 lucent. I'm not sure how effective this is if it's worth more than 10 lucent, but because this is pretty much dirt cheap lucent right here, health regen, this is what I wanted to experiment on, since as you can see up here I only have 990 lucent left. So what I basically did was I was experimenting if I stack 4,950 blessing, blah 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 blah. You guys can read this later on. Basically, what I'm saying here is if I try to max out the necessary amount of blessings I need to fully trait one purple gear, would it be worth it to just full send on the blue traits, for example, to just fail stack it all the way? This is an incorrect number right here, 4,950. Don't pay attention to this. This was at the beginning of the testing. I'll as we move further along, I'll correct that. But basically, I kept stacking the blessings on my Shock Commander gloves with health regen. So over here, it took me about maybe 11, 12 blue gloves, blue health regen gloves, to get this fully traded without using the blessings. That was lucky, and it net me around 320 blessings to get it max level. I was expecting a lot more, like it would take a lot more blues to actually get it there, but I ended up getting lucky, and I got 320. So now that I've maxed it out, though, the big thing here is that I can't use traits to keep going, to keep stacking those blessings, right? So what I ended up doing was oh yeah, and before I get to that, I was wondering if uh, converting the trait when it's maxed, would it retain the level of the trait enhancement? Like if I were to say, um, if I were to convert health regen to like attack speed, for example, right? Would attack speed end up being at trait tier 4 rather than resetting to trait tier 1? However, that's not the case, unfortunately, as you'll find out here that I ended up rolling my health regen gloves, my trait converting it to um, the chance conversion. Now, I recommend doing this because out of these 6 traits over here, I want 3 of them, right? So realistically, I have a 50% chance of getting one of the traits that I want. That's really huge, because the other method to getting another trait is through guaranteed trait conversion, which kind of sucks because you have to use the trait unlock stones, which I don't recommend because those are very hard to come by, and you want to save those for like later stuff down the road. So for now, I ended up using trait conversion, trait chance conversion. 100 of those. You can get 100 weekly from your guild, depending on how active your guild is. But yeah, you can get 100 weekly from the guild merchant. Anyways, yeah, it's a 50% chance, and I recommend doing that. What ended up happening is I rolled melee evasion. So melee evasion, fortunately, melee evasion is also worth like 10 lucent right now in the market over here, as you can see. I ended up fail stacking it with melee evasion as well, and this time I didn't get as lucky as the other one, so I bought like 11, but none of them enhanced by even 1 level. So it did, however, give me 720 blessings, basically almost guaranteeing 2 trait enhancements for a purple tier gear. Because as you know, it takes 450 blessings to guarantee 1 trait enhancement for a purple tier gear, and I'm at 720, so I would need 900 blessings to guarantee 2. So I'm almost there, and effectively I've only used like how much? 200 lucent at this point. 220 right here, yes, because I did buy like 22 blue gear that costed around 10 each. As I kept experimenting, I've managed to stack over 2,200 blessings here, and as I finally finished the melee evasion trait. So I'm not really focused on retaining this tier. What I wanted to do was fail stack the blessings as much as I can to guarantee the much more expensive traits. Like for example, I think for these gloves at the moment, the most expensive trait is melee endurance, costing around nearly 400 lucent for just 1 trait extraction of that. And basically what you want to do is you want to save those blessings to level up the most expensive trait. Now, after getting this to max, right, you can see that I can no longer stack fail stacks or to accumulate more blessings, since the melee evasion is already at 160. So because melee evasion isn't also one of the 3 traits that I desire on these gloves specifically, since I'm going for a more endurance kind of build as a tank, I ended up re-rolling it again using the trait conversion stones. The chance ones at least, not the guaranteed one. And I ended up getting attack speed, fortunately. This is great because attack speed is one of the 3, so I technically won my 50-50 right there. I lost the first one, but I won the second one in getting attack speed, because now I have one of the 3 traits I do want on this piece of equipment. So as you can see here, I also have 2,200 blessings accumulated. That's around 4 blessings, or I mean 4 enhancements guaranteed. So what I could do is, if I were to get those that other trait, what was it, melee endurance, that's the most expensive, if I were to unlock it right now in this next slot, I could effectively max that trait out using the blue melee endurance gloves, which are significantly much cheaper than the purple ones. Yes. I could max that out using these blessings, because now I have guaranteed 4 enhancements. So this is a great strategy for, retaining, for effectively enhancing your equipment rather than just straight up buying purple trait enhancements in the future and wasting a lot of lucent, because right now those are really expensive if you guys haven't seen yet. um, so as we move along here, I show like a lucent ratio of attack speed blue traits versus purple traits. So as you can see here, these are the current market prices in Soulfire for attack speed plus 2%, and these are the purple versions, and they're drastically much more expensive, like 155. Wow, that's not worth it, because like, why bother buying one of these at 155 when I can buy like 12 of these to guarantee the amount of blessings I need to guarantee one enhancement, you know? I need only 12 of these, which would be 120 lucent. I would need 12 of these to gain enough blessing to guarantee an enhancement, right? So this in itself is just not worth it at all. Now it will vary from gear to gear, right? So like, not every blue gear will be worth 10 lucent, hence why I wanted to just experiment with this specific piece. So moving along, as I go down further here through my guild Discord, basically, if 12 of the blues are worth less than one of the purple traits, always buy the blue one to generate the fail stacks. Because let's say like you buy 12 of these, right? And even if they are a little more expensive than the purple one, as long as they're close to the same price, if 12 of those blue ones are close to the same price as one of these purple ones, I would still rather go for the blue ones because of this one thing. If they end up succeeding, for example, right, as you're failing those 10% blue stacks, those blue trait stacks, as you're failing each one of them, there's a 10% chance for them to succeed. Now if they actually do succeed, like let's say I use 11 of them and the very last one succeeded, I just got myself like a free 450 blessings that I can use to pretty much effectively, you know, save myself from using this. So it's like I got double the value, and that can drastically be even more when you're focusing on much more expensive gear. So I do recommend to check that out. Now here I actually corrected myself. Earlier I thought I would need around 4,950 blessings because of it being like needing 11 times 450, but I was incorrect about that. I thought that I would need 4,000 blessings, around 4,050, because there are 9 slots in a, like for example, right, if you get a piece of gear here, there are 12 slots total that you can, of traits. When you unlock a trait, like for example, one is attack speed, one is melee endurance, and one is ranged endurance, you now have 3 slots, 3 trait enhancement levels that you can enhance. So that would be 3 of each, so that would be 9. So you would effectively need 9 times 450 blessings, which would be at exactly 4,050 blessings total, to completely max trait a purple gear. That's the number you want to aim for. However, I kind of screwed up here too. I didn't think about the transferring your max traded blue gear, because as you guys may have known already, that's what you want to do. You want to level up a blue gear. I'm sure a lot of YouTubers have already told you that you should always max level a blue gear and also max trait enhance it, right, before transferring it to a purple gear. Because once you transfer it to the purple gear, not only will it go from 0 to level 6 on your purple gear, but you'll also have 960 blessings, I believe. Yes, yeah, right here. 960 blessings transferred from that blue gear, assuming it's max traded, all the way to your purple gear. that 960 blessing goes a long way, because if you can recall right here, you need 4050 blessings total to completely max out a purple gear, right? Minus the 960 blessing that you'll be acquiring from the blue gear. So 4050 minus 960 blessings will net you to about needing 3090 blessings. This is the golden number right here. 3090 blessings to completely max a purple gear, assuming that you have transferred a max traded blue gear, if that makes sense. So now, based on the experiment, I've spent around 500 lucents, just buying those garbage tier blue traits, right? But even the blue traits that aren't garbage tier, I was surprised. Like attack speed, for example, it's only worth 10 lucents. So I was like, I want to take advantage of this and test this out. So I didn't even know this prior to the experiment. So this is something I just found out now. So yeah, I was surprised that attack speed is currently 10 lucent, and that's huge because that's something I really want on my gloves, and I want to fail stack it a couple more times. So now I wanted to save this last part for you guys. I actually have the game open right now here. This is my character. My name is Sealheart again, and currently our guild has open slots if anyone would like to join, so just send me a message in game or a mail if you would like to join our guild. We've got a relatively nice community going on, and we're currently rank 72. We were towards rank 50 like a week ago, but we dropped a little bit. But we're getting back there. We're about to hit 17, so we'll be unlocking those new raid bosses soon. So yeah, just let me know if you guys want to join. We have 5 slots open. Feel free to send me a message. Thanks. So now back to the experiment over here. Let me bring this out. So I've effectively used only about like 500 lucent on this experiment. I did spend a couple more on other things, but let me show you right now. So I used 500 lucent. What I ended up doing was I ended up spending if we go to the market over here first actually, and I type in Shock Commander, I went to the gauntlets, right? Since I already had like a crap ton of blessings saved up, I ended up looking at, oh wow, the melee endurance one that wasn't blank earlier. That was actually still filled. There was at least one, but I guess it's gone now. Oh wait, no, sorry, it's because I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking at the actual item. I should be looking at the trait right here. There you go. So as you can see here, melee endurance is the most expensive lucent trait right now. Like that's so overpriced in my opinion. I don't think that's worth it at all to get, but I mean, if this were literally the last trait you needed, yeah, if you have the lucent, go for it, right? But what I ended up doing was I ended up purchasing the ranged endurance trait extraction of these gloves for 130, around 130 lucent, yeah, I think 129. And I ended up placing it on my gloves because I wanted to experiment with this method. So I ended up buying that, just so using an extra 120 lucent on top of the 500 or 600 that I've used. And I put ranged endurance on there. And then finally, I ended up using my convert traits selectively trait unlock stones to get the final melee endurance. Now, this would probably not be worth using on a piece of equipment like this. This is definitely something I would save, but for the sake of this experiment, I ended up using it just to show you guys the efficiency of this system. So now that I've stacked all the way up to 3,520 blessings, right? I currently have one of the attack speed blue gear traits ended up succeeding. So I acquired around 3,000 by that time, 3,520 by that time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start using my blessing to continuously max out my traits. So I have melee endurance here, as you guys know. This is super expensive in the marketplace for purple gear. I'm going to use my gloves, and I'm going to use my blessing. Don't forget to use your blessings. That almost screwed me over earlier. So thank God I saved it for this video just to show you guys. So now I'm going to use my gloves. These are melee endurance gloves, blue tier. I'm going to use my blessings. It should cut 450 blessings out of my total amount to essentially guarantee this next trait enhancement. So let's go here. There you go. As you can see, melee endurance 80. Next up, I'm going to do it again with my next pair of gloves. And it should, there you go, melee endurance 120. And then finally, I have one more pair of gloves I've been saving for this. And it should net me to melee endurance 160. So as you can see here, I've fully traded out my melee endurance gloves completely. Just through generating enough fail stacks and blessings to guarantee each trait enhancement. I'm going to do the same thing now with my ranged endurance gloves. Don't forget to click your blessings. Enhance here. Ranged endurance 80. Same thing. Ranged endurance 80. Now, as you can see here, I don't have another one, so I'm actually going to go to the marketplace and purchase one more. Hopefully it's not too expensive. I would definitely check this before doing this. So I'm going to go here, go to rare, find trait, ranged endurance, and then go to armor since we'll be wanting the gloves. So as you can see here, wow, that's only 10 loosened, so it's perfect. I just need to purchase one. Alright, then we'll get back to the trait enhancement of my gloves. Here we go. Use blessing, don't forget. And enhance. Alright, so now you can see both my melee and ranged endurance are now fully traded out. Just from spending like 500, 600 lucent. That's crazy because I could see people end up wasting hundreds upon thousands of lucent even trying to trait these up one by one with purple tier trait extractions, which is definitely not worth it, only if the blue trait extractions are drastically more expensive. Like for example, I know the max health trait for belts, for example, are very expensive at the moment. Let me bring that up just to show you guys. See the max, holy crap, it's 243 lucent. That's a lot more than what I initially found earlier. So that's definitely not worth it. I would rather just wait on this trait specifically over time and just, you know, don't even like, this is definitely not worth it. Don't go for this, guys, at all. Yeah. So anyways, where was I? Now all I have to do now is for these gloves, I'm just missing basically two traits left. But as you can see here, I'm currently at 820 blessing, right? So essentially, I only need 2 more fail stacks to get it at 900 blessings, and then I would purchase 2 more to effectively guarantee the last 2 trait enhancements. It just rolls down to a perfect number and very satisfying. So let's do that now. I will go back to the auction house, and I'll only purchase 2 for now because there is a chance that remember, there's a 10% chance that this can succeed. So if it does succeed, you're essentially saving blessings and saving money over time, lucent. So I'll go here, search criteria, reset that, go to find trait. I will put in attack speed and go to armor, apply, go to hands, and as you can see here, it's only 10 lucent each. So I'm gonna purchase 2 for now. Okay. And then I will go to my gloves again, and effectively I will try to fail these gloves first so I can build it up to 900 blessings. So enhance it without using the blessings. Okay, and I will fail this once more for the sake of this video. There you go. Now I'm at a clean 900. So essentially, if I purchase 2 more gloves from the marketplace for 10 lucent each, 2 more attack speed gloves, I can practically guarantee the final 2 enhancements, which I'm going to do right now. Alright, let's see here. Auction house. No, wait. Let's go back to my gloves. Attack speed plus 4%, right? So don't forget to select your blessings. This is always something you want to take your time on, especially if you come down to the final 2 enhancements. Use blessings. This should subtract half of this amount, which would be 450. So let's do that. Attack speed plus 6%. And then finally, I would use my final blue tier attack speed gloves that I bought for 10 lucent. 10 lucent. Imagine that. The purple version of this is worth 150 lucent. Drastically overpriced, not worth it in my opinion. Just go for the 10 lucent one, and assuming it's worth 10 lucent at the time after this video is released. So I'm gonna do this last one, use blessing, and boom, there you go. Max traded purple gear using only 700, about 700 or 800 lucent, around that range. 700 lucent. That's crazy. You can spend over 3,000 trying to max your purple traits otherwise, like using purple trait extractions or whatnot. But that is completely overpriced as it is in the market right now. Don't go through that method. This is definitely the way to go. Granted, I did use trait conversion stones and trait unlock stones for this experiment. However, even if I weren't to use those, I could effectively just purchase like this, for example. Where is it? Shock Commander. If I weren't to have used those items, those valuable resources, because I'm assuming like everybody wouldn't want to use those all the time, right? Because we only have such a finite amount of those resources every week. You can always just spend the extra lucent and go for one of these trait extractions, like the one you need. For example, the one I needed was ranged endurance and melee endurance. I could have just spent this amount of lucent one time. You only need one, so you can unlock that trait on the gauntlets, for example. And then after that, just repeat the same process with the blue trait extractions. You don't need to buy like freaking let's see. You don't need to buy purple tier trait extractions for melee endurance. You know? You don't need to buy these right here. 92. That's a pretty decent price. It's better than the attack speed ones, but you guys get what I'm saying. 92, 93. It's just, it's simply, it could be worth it in this case, but it would be more worth it for the ones that you do feel you need to use your blessings on. Like, this isn't a universal price for several traits. There are some traits that are like much way more expensive. Like, let me give you an example here. Probably the heavy attack trait, right? Because heavy attack is currently the #1 most desirable trait on weapons. It's universal for nearly every class to build this. And as you can see here, wow, the 279 lucent, 280. This is definitely one of the traits you would want to use your unlock stones on, most likely, and build it up with blues if you can. Alright, well, anyways, that's how you do it. That's how I went about getting my first purple gear to max traits, attack speed, melee endurance, and range endurance, all for the cost of about 700, 800 lucent. So if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. And again, if you guys would like a guild to join, we do raids every Thursdays and Saturday nights. So feel free to message me, and you're welcome to join our guild, Cygnus. We'd love to have you. Thank you guys. Bye bye for now.